Hello everyone, this is Tweenies1998 speaking here, and I'll be showing you two ways on how to render 3D models as 2D sprites with two different ways. One of which will use the render properties method, the other will use the pixel render method, which I will give you in the link in the description below. So the first one will use the render properties one, so I simply kept the default render engine as Eevee with the resolution of 250 by 250, but you can try any size you want, like 150 by 150 or 300 by 300. It really does not matter, but do keep it to the default size of 250 by 250 if you want to see a better view of your sprite very easily. And this animation was also done by me, so I'll be showing you this simple animation that I've done, which looks really cool. So do keep in mind for that. So I've also done this model like a couple of weeks ago while I was learning Blender. So I've also made like the simple face texture via the use of Fire Alpaca, which I think it looks really cute. I've also done the TOON shader texture, which can be rendered in Eevee, which I'll be showing you in the link in the description below for like how to actually render the TOON shader in Eevee soon. So, but for now, I'll just show you how I did that method as well. So this cat was also made like done via the use of Blender as well. So I just simply used like a reference image that I just simply used with Fire Alpaca and then ported onto like, you know, at least like modeled it directly from scratch via like using the Blender like a couple of months ago. So I stick with that resolution as well. So once you're happy with that model as well, like your size, everything, your lighting, and once you're done, simply go to the render properties and simply render the image, or press the F12 key if you want to render the image, and Control F12 if you want to render the animation. So, but for now, just simply render the image. So simply just click on the F12, and as you can see, like this cat character looks really nice as well. So the face doesn't usually show up that well, but it really does not matter. So what I did was I simply just done this little method as well. It was 250 by 250 pixels, and you can see it gives more like a nice pixel render shading. It's similar to that of the 90s, early 2000s style games, like old school PC games that you can actually see here. Looks really nice here. So, and that's the way to like how to actually render this 3D model as a 2D sprite via these render properties. And once you're happy with that, click to save once you're done. So I'm happy. So I would be showing you the pixel render method in the next video here, so do keep an eye out for it. Another way of rendering 3D models as 2D pixel sprites is to use the pixel render, which I'll give you in the link in the description below. This toy block of mine was made like a couple of months ago for my MUGEN stage, which actually uses like a simple texture that I made using Fire Alpaca. And I've also modeled the cube into more of like a nice beveled shape. And I've also added like a simple animation as well. So I've created different textures for each block as well. So I made orange, turquoise, yellow, and green for each block as well. And I've used it for my MUGEN stage as well, so it looks pretty nice. You can see I've simply made this little animation in Blender as well, as it's like nicely animated as well, so it looks pretty cool. So what you should do, you should like at least click on the render settings to like set it with the pixel render as well. So as you can see, the resolution is being 250 by 150 as well, so do click on that first, and simply once you're ready with the lighting and everything, simply render the image as a 2D sprite. You can see like this toy block of mine was rendered using the pixel render, which actually looks pretty nice as well. It's very simple in terms of the aesthetic, and it looks like some kind of Pokemon sprite that you can actually see in like Nintendo DS games, which looks pretty cool. So I admit it looks really nice. So anyways, that's how you like actually do two ways of rendering the 3D models as 2D sprites with two different methods. So anyways, I hope you liked this video, and see you all in the next tutorial video as well. So have a good day. See you real soon. Bye.